Excuse me. After the success of the original Tekken, Namco quickly went to work on its sequel. Let me catch you up real quick. Okay, now, Tekken 2 took Namco only 7 months to develop, releasing in arcades in August 1995, which is actually before the original game was released on PlayStation, funnily enough. Fighting games were already rising in popularity by the first Tekken's release, but Tekken 2 had to compete with some stone-cold classics throughout 1995. Fatal Furies 3 and Real Bout, Killer Instinct 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Samurai Showdown 3, Marvel Super Heroes King of Fighters 95, as well as the inception of whole iconic franchises such as Darkstalkers, the Street Fighter Alpha series, and Namco's own Soul Edge, which would eventually transform into the classic Soul Calibur series. And who can forget the greatest fighting game of all time? Wait, what the hell is this? Waku 7? Damn, hold on, wait, this game actually looks really cool. I don't really want to make fun of it anymore. Quick editor's note, while putting this video together, I actually went to an arcade and they had Waku 7. It's actually pretty fun. I recommend. Anyway, so how did Namco make Tekken 2 stand out among all this competition? I don't fucking know, dude. They just made Tekken again, but like, better. That's really all Tekken 2 is. The original Tekken with all the blemishes removed and a few more fantastic quality of life features added. Turns out all you gotta do to make a successful game is have it be really good. Who would have thought? At its core, Tekken 2 still plays pretty much the same as the original with just a few new mechanics to make matches more interesting. The game introduces 3 new types of throws. Back throws for when you catch the opponent facing away from you is a new universal mechanic, while the other 2 are limited to a select number of characters. The attack reversals are essentially like parries. If your opponent hits you while you're in the attack reversal stance, they're getting their ass tossed. Attack reversals are super risky though. The recovery animation is extremely slow, so if you get your timing on the reversal wrong, you're gonna get a punch directly into the face.
Hey, yo.
What the fuck was that? Chain throws have also been added to Tekken 2, allowing you to throw your opponent multiple times in a row. Alright, watch this. We call this one the Octopus Special. Yeah. Who do you think you are, huh? I'm King. King of Tekken. Maybe this is an issue only I have, but these chain throws are insanely difficult. Oh my god, no! They require ridiculously precise timing going from throw to throw, and I can never really get a handle on them, which is a huge shame because they're some of the coolest looking moves in the game. This is fucking stupid. I don't understand what I'm doing. What am I doing wrong?
2 hours later.
You see, I put in this fucking input, and it doesn't work. I can't even do the first part of the throw.
1 hour later.
Please, I'm going to crash out.
6.5 hours later.
Forward, down, forward, and then the 2 lights. Oh, okay, I guess when I... Oh, no, I can't do it. Please, alright, okay. No. Why is this? It just doesn't do it. It just doesn't do it. I don't know.
3 weeks later.
Forward, down, forward, throw. What? It shouldn't be this hard. It really shouldn't be.
3:28 a.m.
This video isn't even going to be monetized. I'm spending all this fucking time learning how to do this goddamn throw, and I'm not even getting paid for it.
1 eternity later.
I'm done. I'm going to bed. Bye-bye. While Tekken 2 still mostly plays similarly to a 2D fighter as the first game did, it does lean a little further into its 3D elements. Now every character, when knocked down, can roll to the side if you mash left punch, allowing you to avoid incoming attacks from the air. A few characters, such as Heihachi and Michelle, have moves that allow them to attack the opponent from the side. You can't move freely in 3D space yet, but we're getting there. Although Heihachi does have this backwards sidestep dodge thing, I don't really know what the utility for this is. There aren't many new mechanics, but the few on offer here certainly make Tekken more exciting. In the original game, when you've got your opponent on the ground, they can either get straight up, roll forward to attack, or roll backwards to avoid you. But now with their ability to roll to the side, it completely changes your approach. Now me, I just run straight at them because I'm bad at fighting games, but Tekken 2 does push you to play more strategically than before. As a bit of a gameplay related tangent, some of these inputs are fucked up. Well, to be fair, they're fine if played on an arcade stick, but as a pad user, I had to completely retrain my body and open my third eye in order to go from this to this. I can't possibly hit inputs like this with just my thumb, so this claw grip is basically required. Suffice to say, playing this was unbelievably uncomfortable. I got used to it after a while, but god damn, it was not fun to adapt. Anyway, back on track, the presentation here has also been greatly improved. The aura in these stages is just unbelievable, man. Here, for a quick comparison, this is a stage from the original game. Just kind of a bland, boring desert area. Now in Tekken 2, wait, no, hold on, not this one. Here, okay, Chicago in the first game is kind of just a plain gray tiled floor, and in the distance you see a generic JPEG of a city without much color. Compare that to Tekken 2's Hong Kong stage, which takes the same basic premise of fighting on a skyscraper rooftop and does so much more with it. The ground is made up of various colorful textures, and the 2D background features dramatically larger buildings, creating the perspective that this roof is right in the middle of the city. I'm not gonna say that this stage is like mind-blowing or anything, but looking at it, yeah, I buy that I'm fighting on top of a skyscraper, which is way more than I can say for the original game. Also, this is supposed to be Akihabara? Is this what Akihabara looked like 30 years ago? Anyway, what is mind-blowing is the music. God damn, it's good. Bruh, just listen to King's theme and try not to bop your head. Another of my favorite themes is Yoshimitsu's. Oh, put on Kazuya's now. Yeah, that's the shit right there. Just as in the first game, the PlayStation port of Tekken 2 features the classic arcade and versus modes, but this game adds a few more welcome additions. This game has a practice mode. Oh, this is a good game now. This is a good game. First of all, yeah, there's actually a training mode. Genuinely a gift from God, being able to familiarize myself with the roster before tackling the arcade ladder. Looking around online, it seems Tekken 2 is one of the first fighting games to even feature a training mode. The only two I could find that predate it are the SNES port of Killer Instinct and the PlayStation port of Street Fighter Alpha, both of which were released just a few short months before Tekken 2 hit home console. Tangentially related, like in training mode, when playing arcade mode you can actually pause the game to look at the inputs for the moves.
Fight!
You can look at your command list in the game now? I don't have to quit to look at the fucking manual? Oh, this is a good game. This is a good game. You have no clue how tiring it was playing the first Tekken and needing to pause the game so I can flip through a physical instruction manual if I forgot a certain input. As for the other new modes, starting with the least interesting is Time Attack, which is just a less fun arcade mode. The goal is to complete an arcade ladder as fast as possible, but it's locked at medium difficulty. You can't pause, change characters, or use any cheat codes. Oh, yeah, Tekken 2 has some hilarious cheat codes.
Round one.
Oh my god! Anyway, finishing Time Attack also doesn't show you your character's ending or the game's credits. Arcade mode already has a timer to see how long it takes you to complete the ladder, so I'm not entirely sure what the point of this mode is. Maybe it's for the hardcore Tekkeners who just want to blast through the arcade mode without any of the stuff that makes arcade mode actually engaging? Who's to say?
Perfect.
Damn. She just ran right into my face. Jesus Christ. Next is survival mode, where the player, well, survives as long as they can against a never-ending series of opponents who get progressively more difficult to fight.
Hey, yo. You lose.
Well, I tried. After each match, your health bar doesn't fill up entirely like in arcade mode. You get a little teensy bitty health boost and are thrown back into the fight. Survival mode definitely isn't my thing, but I totally get its inclusion. I imagine loads of people compete with their friends to see how many opponents they can defeat before going down themselves. Despite it literally not being arcade mode, it feels the most arcadey when you're competing to get the highest score, that being the number of defeated opponents. A little bit better that time. Again, survival mode is not my thing, but I do think it's a really neat addition. Now the coolest new mode is Team Battle. Team Battle is essentially playing King of Fighters in Tekken. What the fuck is this? This King of Fighters? What is this? You pick up to 8 characters for your team, which will be matched by an opposing team with an equal number of fighters. Like in survival mode, each of your characters stays in the fight until their health bar is fully depleted, and they don't regain any health at the start of the next match. Team Battle is a fight to see who can defeat the entirety of the other team first, and it's genuinely thrilling to play.
Hey, yo.
No!
Win.
Fuck off. If there's actually story content included here, it'd easily be my favorite mode. Fuck, I really need to play King of Fighters. Speaking of story, after the conclusion of the first Tekken, in which Kazuya kills his father by throwing him off a cliff, the series was in dire need of a brand new protagonist for Tekken 2.
It's you! It's you! How could you, man? How could you?
What? You thought Heihachi was actually dead? Are you stupid? The interesting twist in Tekken 2 is that the main characters' roles are reversed. Kazuya has been promoted to the main villain, while Heihachi is now the primary protagonist. Ooh, fuck you. My bitch ass son. Following the events of the original Tekken, where Kazuya seemingly kills his father, he has now taken over the Mishima Zaibatsu and does some really evil shit. This guy is like super evil, okay? According to the Tekken wiki, he has nearly conquered all of Hokkaido in order to make it an independent nation? Sure, why not? 2 years later, Kazuya puts on a second King of the Iron Fist tournament so he can aura farm while dressed as Dracula. Dracula. They took my comparison of him to Dimitri way too seriously for my last video. What the fuck, Namco? Heihachi has been secluded in the mountains with Kuma this whole time, training in martial arts. When Kazuya announces the return of the King of the Iron Fist tournament, Heihachi quote-unquote sharpens his hair and enters the tournament to win back the Mishima Zaibatsu. Not only does Heihachi enter the tournament, but so does literally every character from the original game, including the unlockable bosses. Each of their movesets have been fleshed out to give them more unique identities. I just T-pose and fly away. That's like the best move in the game. And Bijak has even gotten a completely overhauled design. He actually looks kinda cool now. Not only that, but they also now all have arcade mode endings, greatly expanding on their stories and lore. He didn't study for the prostate exam. Almost all of the characters' lore have been deepened, revealing new relationships that we didn't already know existed. Quite a few members of the roster are connected to one another through a scientist named Dr. Boskanovich, who is imprisoned by Kazuya. P-Jack, Jak-2, who is a new upgraded Jak model, just don't worry about it, and Yoshimitsu's cybernetic implants were all invented by Boskanovich, the latter two entering the tournament to rescue him, while P-Jack fights to keep him in Kazuya's captivity. The most interesting motivation here to me is Jak-2, who rescued a little girl on a battlefield. He intends on having Boskanovich transform him into a human when he wins the tournament so he can live with the girl. The original Jak was just a mindless clanker, but I found his story in Tekken 2 to be the most endearing in the roster, even if I still don't like playing as him at all. Unfortunately, in Jak's ending, he gets fucking blasted by one of those Jewish space lasers, so I hope this one isn't canon. The other story that I was most invested in was unsurprisingly King and Armor King. Following King's loss in the original Tekken, the orphanage he fought to secure funding for ran out of money, resulting in the death of one of the children. I guess the spooky ending of King surrounded by these eldritch abominations that are real children isn't canon, thankfully. The child's death drives King into a breakdown, and he turns to heavy drinking. His former rival, Armor King, decides to pull him out of his depression, recruiting him to fight in the second King of the Iron Fist tournament in in order to save the hearts of the remaining orphans. Seeing these once bitter rivals form a genuine friendship is some really interesting character development for these two. To be fair, there isn't really that much here. Why Armor King had a change of heart isn't explained, but trying to help his friend is a much more interesting motivation than simply striving for revenge like in the original game. King's ending sees him reunite with, oh my god, no, not the Nightmare Children, no. As I said before, Tekken 2 features the return of every character from the original game, but adds 5 or 6 or 7 new characters depending on how you count them. Or 8 if you include Jack 2, whatever. Let's just look at the new edition, shall we? First and most important to the lore is Jun Kazama, an animal protection officer and master of Kazama traditional martial arts. In observance with National Pegging Day, I gotta go with, you know how it is. She's also a deeply spiritual individual, blessed with the ability to commune with animals and supernatural entities. Jun joins the tournament to arrest Kazuya for smuggling and experimenting on endangered animal species, but also to free him from the mystic forces that he's currently surrounded by. What are these mystic forces? Well, we'll get back to that. Jun is a tricky character who prioritizes defense, utilizing some pretty brutal mix-ups that cause massive damage.
You win.
Oh, I like this character. Again, I am bad at fighting games, so getting mixed up by the AI in arcade mode made Jun one of the hardest characters to consistently fight while running a ladder. Normally, I actively want beautiful women to beat the shit out of me, but even I gotta admit, it gets tiring after a while. No!
Right.
Next is the #1 detective of the Hong Kong International Police Force, the one and only Lei Wulong. Now, I shat on Law in the last game for being based on Bruce Lee, but Lei Wulong is based on the legendary Jackie Chan. How can I possibly complain about a Tekken character inspired by the star of the hit film The Spy Next Door? I'm just waiting for a fighting game character inspired by Stephen Chow so he can do some Shaolin soccer moves. And Ronaldo doesn't count.
The special moves, of course, they are strong, like me.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, right. Lei is a stance fighter and heavy mix-up character. If you're not in the know, stance fighters essentially have different modes they can enter to change which moves they have access to. An example being Gen from Street Fighter 4. I always avoided stance characters because they feel like needing to play multiple characters at once to my small monkey brain. But Lei isn't actually too complicated. Other than your standard stance, he can also attack from facing away, lying on the ground, or his Phoenix stance. My most powerful move, where I lay down. That's why he's called Lei, because he lays down. He can go directly into these stances, but a lot of his strings end with him in a different stance. So flowing from one stance to another feels very natural. Lei is still very challenging because there's so many moves you need to remember for each stance, but it never felt too overwhelming for me. Funny guy. Look at him. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna stop me when I do that? Now just wait until I do this in an actual match, you'd be screwed. As a detective, Lei and his partner are investigating the Chinese triad, discovering a direct tie between them and Kazuya. Lei's partner is murdered, prompting Lei to join the tournament in order to take Kazuya down. But who was it that killed Lei's partner? Well, that'd be none other than Tekken 2's next brand new character. Completing Lei's arcade ladder gives the player access to his sub-boss, Bruce Irvin. Bruce was orphaned as a young boy, leading to him moving to Thailand as an adult and becoming a Muay Thai expert. While there, he angered a Thai gambling organization, who put a hit on Bruce's head. On a flight back to the US, the hitman attempted to kill Bruce, but Lei's partner intervened. The fight caused the plane to crash, with Bruce as the only survivor. He was found by Kazuya's men and given a job as a mercenary. Lei now believes Bruce to be his partner's killer. Bruce doesn't have the fastest walking speed, but his attacks move at a blur. He can easily land counter hits, meaning he hits you before your attack animation is completed, due to his quick speed, making him a bit of a monster to fight in arcade mode. I breezed straight through Bruce's ladder when playing him and found him to be a lot of fun. When it comes to just raw gameplay, Bruce was my favorite of Tekken 2's new additions. The next new character is Law's new sub-boss, the Taekwondo master Baek Do-san. When Baek was a child, his Taekwondo champion father turned to alcohol after a career-ending injury, ultimately landing him in prison. Baek's family plunged into poverty, so his father escaped prison to support them. Horrifyingly, Baek mistakenly kills his father. Years later, Baek becomes a Taekwondo master as well, but just like his idol, is pulled into a life of crime by Kazuya, who blackmails him with threatening to publicly reveal the truth of his father's death. Kazuya has Bake attack Law's martial arts dojo, with the intent of forcing Law to sell him the property. He's kind of a dick, this Kazuya guy. Undeterred by the attack, Law enters the tournament to avenge his students by defeating Bake and Kazuya. Bake is a fast-paced fighter who mainly attacks with long-reaching kicks to keep the opponent at a distance, whittling them down from just out of arm's reach. While definitely not my favorite, I found him pretty easy to pick up and enjoy. And finally, is perhaps the best character ever in a fighting game. This is Roger. Roger is a boxing kangaroo. That is all. Okay, well, that isn't really all. When Kazuya was putting together his paramilitary forces, he had Dr. Boskanovich experiment on animals to make weapons of war. So naturally, Boskanovich used the Mishima Zaibatsu's vast resources to make a boxing kangaroo. But wait, Boskanovich wasn't satisfied with just a kangaroo. No. So he cloned Roger, splicing in fossilized DNA to create Alex, a boxing velociraptor.
What in the actual fuck?
I mean, what else can I say? He's a boxing velociraptor. Anyway, for all the characters running through the arcade ladder, you inevitably battle Kazuya for ownership of the Mishima Zaibatsu. Defeating Kazuya is not the end, however. He's going demon mode. Oh shit!
Round one.
As he is suddenly possessed and transformed into Devil, who you may remember as an unlockable character in the original game, acting as Tekken 2's final boss. Devil was the mystical force manipulating Kazuya that Jun wanted to destroy, but destroying him is gonna be a challenge because this guy's a motherfucker. Okay, well, he's honestly not that hard, except for the goddamn forehead laser beam that always annihilates you. It doesn't even come out that fast. I just have the reaction time of your average senior citizen. Literally, what do I do when he does that? Right, start, yeah. Ow. Fuck. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. I forgot he can do that. Ultimately, defeating Devil rewards you with an arcade ending, of course. Oh, it's the shoe from the first game. She's gonna get it back. She's gonna get the shoe back. Heihachi's ending features him defeating his own son and fucking chucking him into a goddamn volcano. Holy shit, dude. I can't believe Kazuya is really dead and is never coming back, ever. But wait, there's more characters to unlock. Unlocking all the sub-bosses, then running through the ladder with just one of them unlocks Kazuya as a playable character. Running through Kazuya's ladder rewards you with a playable Devil. Oh, what the fuck did I just do? Who the fuck is Angel? Oh, right, she's the final character. I swear this time I'm for real. Like Alex is to Roger, Angel's just another skin for Devil, and she has her own arcade ending. What do I do? Killer Beam. The manual is pretty vague on Angel's nature, but she seems to be the last vestiges of good in Kazuya's heart battling Devil. Oh, there she goes, and then she makes the big orb. That was the Tekken orb, actually. That's in the lore. Not counting Alex and Angel, Tekken 2 features 23 characters, an insane number for that time. For comparison's sake, let's look at other fighting games released in 1995. Street Fighter Alpha, 13 characters. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, 23. Wait, King of Fighters, 95, 26. I guess it's not that much more than the competition. At least it has more than Justice League Task Force. That game only has 9. Anyway, Tekken 2 was extremely well received, landing plenty of 8s and 9s from critics. Reviews praised the graphics, music, plethora of game modes, and basically everything else I also loved. So that basically means all my opinions about the game are objectively correct. It also sold crazy well, becoming the highest grossing arcade game of 1996. The later PlayStation port was the #1 best-selling console game of 1996 in Japan, beating out other huge releases that year like Resident Evil and Super Mario 64. Furthermore, while While the original Tekken is the 51st highest selling PlayStation game of all time, Tekken 2 sold 4 million more copies, landing it as the 13th best selling PlayStation game of all time. Tekken 2 sold better than some of the greatest and most iconic games on the platform, like Ape Escape, Silent Hill, the original Spyro, Parappa the Rapper, 102 Dalmatians Puppies to the Rescue, Parasite Eve, Final Fantasy Tactics, and 9, as well as the aforementioned Resident Evil. With that much success, it was obvious Namco would shoot for a third entry, developing Tekken 3, an experience that changed video games as we know it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I drop my retrospective on Waku Waku 7.